Hey everyone, this is my next update, which I believe is the 16th update of my Deep Blue Professional Rimless tank. Again, a handful of changes that you will see from this video from the last, but the major thing that I want to discuss in this video is the ick outbreak that I received. I believe started from the borbonious getting into the tank. It was the newest fish in the tank, and just got covered with a few things ick. I got a little fin rot, and just panicked because it got to the other fish. In my next video that I'll do shortly after this one is a review of a couple products that I used because I went to desperate measures and use some stuff into this tank, because with a reef tank you got to be very, very careful. Again, I'm a little wild cowboy because I put my fish in here without quarantining them, and I definitely recommend to do that. I just roll the dice half the time, like some people who have reef tanks or any type of tank, and just put their fish in there, because you really need to quarantine a fish or coral or live rock or anything you put in your tank 4 to 6 weeks. 6 weeks is probably where you want it to be, just so it goes through its cycle and remove for the tank. But as you can see here, the borbonious does look very active and swimming around, and I'm gladly to say that he was eating like a pig all along, so I knew he had a good chance. But his eye was cloudy one day. Again, the fin rot was, his fins were going pretty decent rough shape, and I just was very nervous because, again, he is a $400 fish, and if you've seen my other videos, he's not my first time trying for borbonious. He was breathing fast. I know stuff was in his gills. That's why I hate ick. But the main fish that I did lose is the potter's angel. The potter's angel was very sick. He lost his color. He was by this MP40 all day long, covered with ick, and you would consider them, or I consider him, the host fish. The fish that really got beat up by the ick and just couldn't fight it off, and that's where it was breeding and exploding in the tank off of him. And the other fish, even like clownfish, which are very, very hardy and rarely get ick, was getting it. So very, very much of a concern with that when they got it. My butterfly here, the marginalis, he was getting it, but I battled it. I have UV sterilizer, changed out the bulb because I had one, but I forgot to change the bulb out. See, still flashing, it's still in the tank, but the fish is at, I would say, at a reasonable level where the fish are healthy enough and they can fight it off, which is fine with me because I always had it in my tank. But, again, potter's angels was gone. I lost one seahorse. I lost a yellow clown goby that I bought, which actually I just purchased another one, which is doing fine now. But barnacle blenny was one of my favorite little guys because of the way he was eating, and little guy. But again, I'll try to find another one when it comes to the sort to get another one in this tank. My hyphen perchlet, my little red guy with the little fin, he kicked the bucket. He was like the first one really to go. And I'm trying to think of another one that might have went, but pretty much, yeah, those are the 4 different victims that I lost. And I think messing around with the tank, or that was just because it was a small clam, which is generally hard to take care of. It pretty much kicked the bucket on that spot. So enough with the bad news and this update. Things did recover. So obviously 4 weeks. This is my last video. Exactly after the video I made last time, that's when the ick started to come in the tank. So as you can see, I've been very busy this last month trying to battle this, get my tank back where it was. You can see here a little hair algae that's growing because the medication I was using, which is Kikik. I used Ruby Reef, and I used some other product that, I'll tell you about in my next video, but I had to turn off my protein skimmer and take carbon out, things like that. So obviously I was feeding heavily just to get my fish to eat, and phosphates go up. So I'm battling that right now. I bought 2 Chemi Pure Elite, put those in my sump, and eventually this hopefully this hair algae goes away. At that time also I've been doing 10-gallon water changes once a week because of all those chemicals I was putting in the tank and just trying to get the the water going. There's my little eel that you probably didn't see the last time with the clown goby. I found another knuckle coral, so you can see there's the other one right next to the eel and my clown goby. My other knuckle coral, he bleached a little bit. I don't know how, he's on the bottom of the sand bed, but he still moves around, the worm's still in there, and tentacles out, still eating, but there's a lighter color compared to this guy here. The sea squirts I moved over here because, as you can see here, this is one of the coolest sea fans I've seen out there that's photosynthetic. Purple is the base, just like this one over here, but as you can see, nice bright yellow polyps. And as soon as I saw that, I had to get it. And it's been open all the time. Actually has some hitchhikers on here, which is, focus on here, little like looks like little razor oysters, something like that. That's the shape of it. Or it doesn't even look like mussels, but I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's a cool little hitchhiker, and there's a whole bunch of them on there. So I thought that was pretty neat. I got this golden sea rod. It doesn't really like the spot, but I have no really other spot to put in my tank. But it's not receding yet or anything like that. But it has like tan polyps or gold polyps. It's called like a golden sea rod. I got that. All this for my seahorse that's in here. Fox coral's doing okay. All my other coral that's been sitting there forever, it's doing no good, pretty good. And let's go here to see the borbonious everywhere. And actually, the best part about this borbonious made in grapefruit is it eats from the stick. You can see here the colors on her, beautiful. Marvelous butterfly fish. This blue sponge is growing everywhere. Tailspot blenny. And this is another cool factor. It's called the nickname for this is a dragon's breath algae. Now this algae is very cool under actinic lights. It has like that red glow, and if you put it like they say, if next to like an MP40, it looks like dragon fire coming out. So that's how it got its nickname. I just also want to say that my feather duster for some reason popped his head off. I just noticed the crown over here in my tank. So hopefully maybe it's just growing another one, because sometimes they do that, or maybe I lost it after all this time. I'll find out in the next upcoming weeks. This is the 9-watt UV sterilizer that I had in my sump, but I thought maybe it would be more effective. See how my manner, maybe get some copepods in there. That I thought it may be more effective if I could leave it in the display tank, because it's right there, and it does 50 gallons per hour, and hopefully it gets that free floating ick and kills it. I know that the instructions with the the products that I use says do not use the UV sterilizer, blah blah blah, but you know what, I just don't, I might turn off my skimmer, but I'm not going to turn off my UV sterilizer. I'd rather give a chance to kill anything that's floating in this water column and give my fish a better chance. As you can see here, my blue striped pipefish is doing very good here. Again, like when I got the pair, I knew the female wasn't going to make it, but they were a pair, and I didn't want to break them up. But the male has been doing pretty good in here. And there's my other seahorse. Whew. Likes to hang in this spot. This is a new spot. I can't even get a good focus on here. And he's doing pretty good. He just likes this new spot over here. And before he saw my Tanaka fairy wrasse. So I just don't understand how much yellow sponge I have in this tank. It's ridiculous. And it's just, I just find new spots where it's growing. I don't know if a fish is eating it and depositing it, but it's just beautiful. And it's rare to see yellow sponge growing in a tank, and I don't know how I got it to begin with, but I'll take it. and it's been growing, and it's the coolest thing, along with the blue sponge. So that's something to enjoy. You know, the clam, doing good. Actually, one of the products I'll talk about in my next video, it didn't react to it too well, so I stopped it right away because obviously I don't want to lose my clam. Oh, and then one last thing I'm going to show here is this cool, they call it a dancing shrimp or emperor blue shrimp. I don't know, I thought he was pretty cool. He hangs out in anemones, but I don't have an anemone in my tank. But for the price of 11 bucks, I was like, you know what, let me go grab him. He looks pretty cool. So he hangs up here all day. Alright guys, so stay tuned to my next video, and I'll give you an update next month. Hopefully I could get maybe a couple more barnacle blennies. They decided not to get another swimming fish, only because I want to get this guy, the showpiece of the tank, some more room to swim. And there's my little basslet, he's been hanging out a lot lately. And you know, hopefully they're fully recovered. There's still some ick, but mostly it's gone, and the fish are dealing with it very well, and the breathing of each of the fish is not super rapid, which I believe is a positive direction. Okay guys, so I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Again, if you have any questions about anything, just post a comment, send me an inbox or anything like that. I'll get back to you as soon as I can, and I'll just give you what my experience is or anything I could do to help you guys out. Alright guys, see you soon.